North America, people in the Native Americans here, people in South America, Brazil, people in Peru, people in Egypt, people in Australia, people everywhere. But what touched me the most was the people's plight in Mexico, the Zapatistas. It touched me a lot because they had this one scene where the Zapatistas, the people who were fighting for their rights, were standing just like you were standing right now behind a barbed wire fence because they have been put out of their land. And the soldiers were standing like right here with guns facing the people in a straight line. But the people would not leave. The people stood there. It was children, it was women, it was kids, grandmothers, grandfathers, neighbors, friends. They had died on this land. They had planted on this land. They gave birth. They made love on this land. This was their home, generations and generations. So they stood there just like y'all standing right now. And it touched me so much because the camera zoomed in on one of the soldiers. And he had tears coming down his face. Then it zoomed back in on the people, and they had one finger in the air, and they were singing, Una amor, something, something, speak Espanol. Basically what they were saying is, we're not going nowhere until we walk peacefully back on to our land. Excuse my language. So they stood there, and then they zoomed back in on one of the soldiers. Another one had a tear streaming down his face. And we realized by watching this that the soldiers were the people who were made into soldiers, but they were actually the people. And they remembered who they were. So one soldier from the back, he must have been a lieutenant or a captain, he yelled, fall back! He said, fall back! And the soldiers began to fall back. And the people began to walk peacefully back onto their land. So it's possible that we can have what is ours, not just as black people, not just as women, not just as children, but as human beings, as spiritual beings on this planet. Because this planet belongs to all of us. And that's one thing that the man teaches. That's one thing that the man taught me. That this world belongs to all of us. It taught us to learn every single thing about this earth and this planet that we live on and all of the inhabitants of it. And those lessons are very, very dear to me. And watching and looking at everyone here today reminds me of who I am and who we are. And the potential of what we can be. We're in the 4th World War. See, the 3rd World War was different. That was the war of people against the powers. The 4th World War is the war of you against you. I and I. What am I going to do? Which parts of me do I defeat? Which parts of me do I keep? That's where we are. That's what I see in you. And I thank you so very, very much for your attention and your kindness, for inviting me.
Listen, I want to give this award to Miss Erykah Badu. You know what I'm saying? She did this out of love. There's no way in the world I could afford to have paid her to come here. So I'm just keeping it 100. This is love. I want to present to her this award from the Nation of Gods and Earth, from the 5% Nation of Gods and Earth. We present Miss Erykah Badu this award. Give it up for the Queen. You understand? Give it up for the Queen, Miss Erykah Badu. Hey! All right, y'all. Let's play this.
1, 2, 1, 2. Y'all come on out to that after party at the Barracks Inn on 136th Street between 7th and Lenox right after this.
Play the stage, come on the stage a little bit. Play the stage a little bit.
Pace. The after party is at the Barracks Inn on 136th Street between Lenox and 7th. Come on out to the after party, you get $5 off with your Apollo ticket.